rather than accidentally leave my PS3 on for 2 days, which I've done multiple times before an accident. Restart the game, I suppose. There's like an opening cutscene here. I don't know if I've ever watched this opening cutscene. I usually just skip it. Wizard Kings. Hi. This Curses and Chaos. This is a game, I think it's by the people who made, what's it called? Shoot. It's called Tribute Games. Let me see what they made again. They've made some pretty significant stuff. Or significant indie stuff? Question mark? Let me see. They're pretty well-known games. Mercenary Kings, Flint Hook, Ninja Senki, Wizorb. But yeah, Curses and Chaos is like a little beat 'em up. I don't know if you'd call it a beat 'em up. It's not like a side-scrolling beat 'em up. It's like kind of wave-based. So you basically have like this shop area where you can buy different items and skills, and you would think, oh, these items would be useful for like helping you finish the level and stuff. Not really. Really what it's for is there's a mixing system down here, and you can mix stuff to make different items. So like let's buy a potion, and I can mix 2 potions to make a super potion. Then I can make 2 super potions to make poop on accident. So if it's not valid, it becomes poop. So basically you mix that entire chain, and eventually you're filling out this book worth of combinations and stuff that you're supposed to kind of fill out. So it becomes a pretty complicated. It's pretty simple because it's always just 2 items to make something, but it can be pretty complicated. I'm actually gonna unequip, so you can't bring an item with you, but I found offline they consume the items when you are doing a mission, and honestly, you get items so much in this game, you very rarely will ever keep the items that you bring into the mission, so it's almost never worth it. There are some special items that you can only make via crafting, those items basically are those items are basically like usually story progression items, or they're mainly story progression items, really. Or they help you finish crafting on the or craft new things essentially, and they all lead to pretty much crafting. I guess you'd call it the ultimate equipment. But you can see how like fast items are popping out here, and you can get like your owl to carry some of those items, and you can call on it later when you need it. But usually you're burning through these things pretty quick, so unless you're specifically trying to hold on to something for a specific reason, you really are probably better off just focusing on using these items as soon as possible, because you can only hold one at a time. And as you can see here, it starts getting a little difficult to like start juggling these things. And you don't want to like. The big thing about this game is trying not to get hit, basically, which I mean may sound silly because it's a video game. But essentially, you have that chain in the top left corner, and as you chain, you build up your points. As you build up points, you get more money. I think it also affects certain drops. I think not all drops, but like you get spells later on. And you only have a certain number of lives in the bottom left hand corner. And you basically have some basic attacks. So I have like a jump kick. That seems to be the best attack in the game, I feel like. It does like 2 points of damage rather than 1, where the normal punches only do 1 damage. You also have like a dash punch you can do, which does 2 damage as well. But yeah, like you just want to keep using these items like all the time, because you will constantly be running out, or constantly be juggling them otherwise. Sometimes you might want to save specific items for specific bosses or specific like waves or anything like that. A lot of this game is replayability. You are replaying a lot of these levels over and over again, grinding a lot of stuff up, collecting things. What kind of sucks is because I would say this game probably feels built for like 2-player co-op. And maybe on local it's fine, but when you're playing online, you can't keep any of the items that you have for some reason. So it's kind of a trade-off because you don't consume items that you put down, and then you also can't keep any items that you take out. So it's kind of a trade-off, and it's weird. And like the combo factor in the top left corner is actually like a big factor, and then it like doesn't properly sync it up. Like if you're playing with another person, what happens a lot of time is on the host screen, the player who's the second player will get hit by something, but on the player screen who was the one who supposedly got hit, they didn't get hit, but it still counts that as a loss of a combo. So there's a lot of times where a combo just drops for basically no reason, which is really frustrating because that's a big part of this game is keeping your combo. You have a timer on the top there, and if you don't clear away fast enough, like a Grim Reaper comes for you, basically. There's also a timer on your chain, which is kind of frustrating as well because, oh boy, because sometimes enemies take a while to spawn on screen. Or they like are flying around on top of the screen and you don't have like any kind of tools to take care of them. Most of the enemies in this game follow the same patterns. They're just kind of different health values and stuff. Most of the patterns you're seeing right now, like so a case like this where you just take them all to get down, and there's sometimes where it like takes a lot longer than that. But yeah, and you also have like this really silly like dance you can do, so I can like shake my groin or whatever. Alright, about to get that thing. Okay. Shake my groin for points, and basically if you're idling, you do this. If you're trying to do like a point run, you know, you can basically make use of any time you have. Eventually, I feel like early point runs aren't really worth it because eventually there are items that just basically give you a ton of points and will kind of do away with any any early scores that you got pretty easily. Just with the sheer like the sheer amount of points you're able to get at that stage of the game is just so much better than any amount that you like. You still need to play well, but it's not required. And I lost my combo. So I lost my huge combo. Ah, doing pretty bad. Wait for you. So back down to 5 points. I also have like an uppercut too that does a lot of damage. Well, 2 damage. There are different like weapons and stuff that enhance your abilities. But again, because like everything's so kind of short and frivolous in this game, it's not really worth, in my opinion, doing anything other than just taking the default run and just going with what you got here. Especially if you're like trying to farm for items and you don't want to waste stuff. Farming, you want all 3 of your slots open. So unless you specifically know what you want to use an item for, I don't really think it's worth bringing it along with you most of the time. Ah, dang it. So I will say that the play sessions in this game are a bit long. It's 10 waves every single stage, and you can get through the waves, you know, relatively quickly. Actually, I wanted that. You can get through the waves relatively quickly, but it just takes time. Like, it depends on how efficient you are at killing all the enemies on screen. And I feel like... Oh, dang. I feel like most of the time you use at least the majority of the 60 seconds, but maybe if you're really good at this game, that won't be the case. Oops. There we go. I do really like the look of this game quite a bit. I mean, obviously it's like the pixel art kind of thing, but everything's so enlarged in a way that it almost looks like a Game Boy game, but like fully colored, obviously. Which I do kind of like the look of a lot. It just gives it the distinct look. It does feel like a budget game, and I think they gave it out free on PlayStation Plus, which I'm pretty sure is how I got it. So if you have PlayStation Plus and have had it for a long time, there's a good chance you already have this game. I'm kind of curious how often people play their PS Plus games, or if they just download them and then just like, you know, save them for another day, like a Steam library kind of thing, where it's like, I never play anything in my PS Plus library. Most of the time, I forget to download the PS or claim the PS Plus games, so I really should go out of my way to do it more often, but I have enough games as already. Yeah, I got Mega Man 11, so it came in tonight, so I haven't done anything with it yet. Got it. Okay. So I just need to buy it through GameFly and then cancel my GameFly because I'm not going to use GameFly anymore, unfortunately. Oops, dang it, I forgot. The skulls go for you. I forget what the clover does. I think it doubles points for a certain period of time. Yeah. There's some like skill to using stuff like the clover, because if you're like on a really high combo, then you use a clover, it's gonna really give you a ton of points. But I mean, the points only really matter for trophies. I don't think there's any leaderboards in this game or anything. And again, like, you can abuse the point system pretty hard. I'm sure there's like some competitive aspects to getting points in this game. Oh, jeez. Okay, here comes the death. Death is a one-hit kill, so you want to stay away from him. Let's see if I can survive the boss. I forget which boss this is. It's like a ghost, I think. Yeah. It was a long time ago. I think it was like maybe 2 years ago now that it was PS Plus. Oh boy. Oh. But I think it's like a nice small game. You know, it does take a bit of time. But I think if you just want to like poke around in it, it's not hard to do. I think the hardest part is just keeping crafting my move. So I guess that's like the part of this game that kind of doesn't match up with everything else. Is like you have this pretty, I wouldn't say complicated crafting system, but it does require a lot of like thought and patience sometimes, just to like kind of figure out the best ways to get items, especially if you're like crafting up to items, because usually you can basically chain items, crafting items to make there we go. You can basically train crafting items to there we go. You can chain crafting items to unlock the different mixes. So like on this screen here, if I combine two bear traps on the left, or a bear trap with a hammer on the left, I make an axe. And if I combine the axe with the boomerang, it makes a ring. Combine the ring with another ring, I believe it is, and it makes a berserker. And then you combine the berserker and the lucky cat from the other side of the chart to make a magic lamp. Two magic lamps make a one-up item. So it's a pretty hefty chain. And then this also turns into this, which is also its own. The screen is fairly simple, but it's very complicated looking early on. And then also there's this stuff here. I think the ending of this game is a little anticlimactic, but for the most part, it's just kind of this. I'll go ahead and hop into another one, but there's not a ton more to say. I'm trying to think if there's any levels in here that are kind of more interesting. But they're all basically different backdrops with different different like character sprites, and like these zombies here, they're different character sprites and they have different health, but they're basically just the skeletons from earlier. So it's not always, there's not a lot of variety going on. Once you do kind of sit down and figure out how the crafting stuff works, and like you kind of think about the best ways to get the crafting items, it's actually pretty easy. And the girl, by the way, the girl and the guy play exactly the same. She shakes her butt instead, though. Once you start figuring out the crafting stuff, it's actually pretty easy to get through. So this is like the magic system of the game. So I get like a rock. You basically get collectible items. And as you chain, that guy drops higher level magic spells. So you can do level 2 and up to level 3, I think. So if you have like a high combo, you can get up to level 3 magic. What I found is what works best in this game for crafting is once you can start getting that magic, just start farming it, and you can sell the magic for a lot of money. Once you're able to like grind up to those higher level spells too, those sell for even more. And so you can really like sit there and just like eat money, like eat spells for money basically. And like when you pick up items and stuff, you can actually just exit out and you'll still have them in your inventory. You just have to make sure you unequip them from your character. The inventory system in this game is just kind of weird, and again, it doesn't persist in online. And I feel like this game's a very co-op focused game. You know, unless you just want something mindless to do for a while. I feel like this might not be the best single player game unless you're like on a commute or something. And just need something to like kill some time. It does take a lot of skill, I feel like, or at least a lot of like fine control of your character, because like, you know, you don't want to get hit and break your combo. So you don't want to be like completely not paying attention to this game, but dang it, that always gets me. Some of these enemies like this guy gets really annoying. And I feel like you're always surprised at like what actually gets you when you're playing. Sometimes these enemies are not that hard to fight, but when everything else is on screen in a giant way that you like, certain enemy combinations that just don't seem like they'd be a problem do become major problems. Oops. I actually don't know how much this game is as is though. No, it does feel pretty low budget for the most part. I think it's on Vita and PS4. But yeah, little ball man. I think one thing I don't like about this game is that the normal punches are just so kind of useless. Like, they're just not. They always just feel like forever to kill anything. It's just better to sit there and like jump kick over and over again. Ooh. Ah, dang it. Dang it. There's also like cases like where the enemies will spawn under you or something when you're coming down from a jump and you just get hit by them and there's like nothing you can do. Wow, dang it. I'm being careless. I used to do a lot of the booty shaking, but points don't really matter in this game, other than just if you want a high score. So if you're grinding out for the highest number of points, then oh, dang it, man, I'm doing bad. I might run out of lives before the end of this level. I'm not paying enough attention. Oy. Ah, dang it. Shake that booty. Oh, jeez. Okay. I feel like there's a lot of times in this game where you like, where you're like having to kind of dance a little on the D-pad of like, when you do those jump kicks, you kind of want to go in then come back out, because most enemies won't die to one jump kick. There we go. Take that spell. I played a lot of this game not realizing you could run, so I was like doing this the whole time, which was actually kind of like, the levels aren't big, so it wasn't a huge deal. If anything, I probably played better like that because I was a lot more conservative with my movement. Ah, dang it. And the edges of the screen are very dangerous, so you don't want to spend too much time there. You really just can't see what's going on the screen. I get the ballista and the bow mixed up sometimes. I don't know what I'm using. But then once I learned how to run, I became like a lot more aggressive and jumping into enemies and stuff, which results in a lot of me running directly into enemies and just taking it in the face. I did hit his vape dust that was left. A lot of times you end up juggling items and stuff if you want to keep them, but again, I sometimes feel like it's more of a hassle to juggle them than it is to just sit there and use them and let the screen fill. Especially if you're like trying to build a combo. It rarely ever works out that you can juggle a lot of stuff. You'll likely just lose your combo. Oh, I ran into it. Boom. Oh. Just use that item. I can't remember if the boulders are any good on this boss. I don't think they are. It's probably a bad idea to bring them. Oh boy. Ooh, there's a guy hitting inside of him. I actually think the axes are good for the boss. Maybe I should bring the axe instead. I don't think I hit him. Nope. Oh. And then I spent way too much time dilly-dallying, and now that the first coming for me. Oof, okay. I think the music's really good in this game too. I think the presentation overall of this game is just really nice. It really just fits the style of this game, I feel like. And how compact it is. The screen does feel like it can get really busy at times, but you know. Considering it's a wave-based game, I guess I'll save this potion. Considering it's a wave-based game, I don't think you need that much space. And when you're in 2 players, it pretty easy to cover the space. And once you know how to run, just using the R1 trigger, don't be a dumb butt like me and play most of the game just walking. It feels really easy to just get around this map. Oh, whoops, I wanted to take my potion. Ow. Okay, now there's two. Give me my potion. All the bosses have their little minions running around too, which makes it even more frustrating. Both of the bosses I'm playing are pretty simple. These are probably the most similar bosses in the game. The other ones are a bit more challenging, with have more like recognizable patterns and stuff. Wait, I'm doing a bad job. So if you look at these bosses and be like, oh, those bosses are kind of boring, these are the two most boring bosses in the game, probably. We're not going to make it, though. There's no way. Yeah. I should have played more cautiously, but yeah. And then for some reason, there's this lady here, and you just talk to her. And you can click OK. And she'll sit there and animate and talk to you. And that's it. She just keeps talking forever. Heard I like bats. Yeah, I did. Bats? Oh, I guess the boss, yeah, the boss was bats, so yeah. But I do think this game is pretty neat. Again, the equipment and the mixing stuff was kind of whatever, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. It's good and fun. If you have it from the PS Plus stuff, then I think it is worth playing for a little while, at the very least. Pretty short game. Hey, Lucentai. Unfortunately, this is the end of the stream. So you have made it to the end. I'm stopping probably like 3 minutes early, but I think that's all we really need to show of Curses and Chaos. It's a cute little game. Good timing. Yep, just in time. So yeah. Like I said, the Phantasy Star Online article is on the website. I got to make a correction to that article at some point here. I'm sure nobody's dying for me to correct it, but I just got to note that there is technically a shortcut window in Phantasy Star Zero. So put that in, even though I don't think it's a good solution, but it is probably worth putting a sentence in there being like, hey, you can press L and start and bring up the equipment menu, even if it's not the weapon menu, which I think would have been a better choice to map that to. Because how often are you going to switch your armor around? I feel like, I guess in Phantasy Star Portable, you can switch your armor around pretty easily for elemental defenses, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, other than that though, once I finish up Mega Man 11, I don't know, I guess maybe I'll start Mega Man 11 this weekend. Disc. Here we go. Disc. There you go, Mega Man 11. Once we start that, there's a nice glare. I was trying to make him dance, but there's just like a glare all over the screen. So yeah, but start on that. Hopefully it's not too long, and then see if I can just start my Mighty Number 9 video, and then also try to finish Team Innocent, and then also try to play more Valkyria Chronicles 4, and then also I want to play The Quiet Man before the end of the year. You like the art style of 11? I haven't really played or seen enough to really know if it looks good or bad. I mean, the box art looks fine, or I guess the disc art. I am ordering the box here in a second, so, and then canceling my GameFly subscription. Yeah, I'm sure it looks better than Mighty Number 9 visually at the very least. Mighty Number 9, I would say, is not a looker, but I think it is fine. And then here's some discs I tried to burn of Zenki for the PCFX, and then all of them didn't work. I'm told that I need to probably purchase better discs for burning PCFX games, and then also told that I need to get a slower disc CDR or CD burner. So we'll see if that happens, because I'm not paying whatever amount of money it is for Zenki, $500+. But it is one of the few PCFX games that are not a visual novel. so I will probably do the nasty thing and burn a game and try to play it on there. There's no copy protection for PCFX, so gotta figure that out. But yeah, I'll play Mega Man 11, and I don't know if I'll do any content about it. It depends on how I feel about the game. I don't really know enough about it to say if there's anything that I'm like really pursuing in it. Really, the only reason I got it was because, like, if I'm gonna make a Mighty Number 9 video, I should probably have context of what happened with Mega Man 11 at the very least. So, see. Yeah, and then just stream next week. Hopefully get through more Lost Dimensions. I'm guessing we're not going to get through the next floor for another 2 streams or so. I'm only like a mission into this floor, so although this last mission was very easy, and I'm building up my crew in a way that I think I can really burn through the rest of that game without too much trouble. So far. At least that's what it seemed like. We'll see how it actually goes, but Zenji's actually becoming a good character finally. I'm finally realizing my Zenji. so yeah. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I'll talk to you later. Bye. It's hard to keep looking at the camera. I keep wanting to look at the chat down there and then also look at the stream over here. Yeah, thanks for coming. Sorry I didn't make it. Sorry you got here at the very end. Maybe I don't know if I'll stream this weekend. I might go to a convention this weekend. We'll see. I'm undecided. Yeah. We'll see what I do. There's like an anime convention. My PlayStation Plus membership is ending soon. Oh no. Good thing I streamed Curses and Chaos now. I just got... Yep. Yeah, I need to do the... need to go to during the Black Friday stuff, find a deal, probably. I'm not too concerned, though. I don't have any plans for PS Plus stuff in the meantime. So. Alright, I'm gone for real.